porte qua, l'allegro audace marinaio, prima o poi arriverà. Solo lui può consolare questo cuore spezzato a metà, il mio audace marinaio, prima o poi arriva.
Hello! Whoa!
Throwing things
All
on
right.
the floor.
We don't think we have any announcements for today, so we'll just go right into it.
Dope.
It's a little... Oh, I always forget how loud this fucking music is.
Oh,
There we go.
Jesus Christ. Yep. Uh-huh.
Hey,
Sorry.
mine's still the same volume as last week.
What did
Uh-huh,
you say?
Chocolate!
What are they selling?
Chocolate!
We need
All
Brendan. We need Brendan.
We do. Brendan was so good. Oh my god. Already starting with the hydrate. Fine. I gotta increase that again. Okay, so, heading right into our recap. Last time, the last time the Honorbound had heard a large disturbance at the cave within the village of Xarrikir. The Xarrikir guard rushed to the defense of the city, fending off some of the creatures that were seen in the fog, while the group arrived to help. The shadowy guard drakes began to strike, tearing through one of the guards and killing him. The Honorbound made quick work of them, however, and Kakira acted quickly to reach the downed guard and revive them from their experience within the Raven Mother's grasp. Kakira convinced her father not to accompany them further into the cave, and they went in to save the Xarrikir man that had flown in to help. From here, they moved farther in, seeing a hulking dragonoid-type figure with vicious armor and a longsword standing on the other side of the wall of force, pacing back and forth. Sige cast Fog Cloud, while Calvio then dispelled the wall, and the rest of the group setting up their own various things. The group then rushed in to strike. The figure let out a massive breath weapon of deep purple as soon as they came in range, hitting most of the party and wounding quite a few of them. With a challenge, the group managed to down this individual, and in his passing, the blackness began to leave his scales, and he whispered, "Thank you," to the group. They continued deeper into the cave to find a warlock performing some sort of profane ritual on the Xarrikir man that had flown into there. Xarrikir quickly came up and banished the warlock to another plane, and he did not return. Kakira healed the Xarrikir individual, releasing him from the ritual. I believe it was Kakira. And the group spotted a passageway at the other end of the cave that seemed to lead farther down. We pick up now with the group back at the spire, getting ready for sleep, and considering what they had learned in the past hour. So, Honorbound.
Flint has prepared a very large chicken noodle soup stew kind of deal going on since his belly has been upset, and has got like a giant hot pot going.
There's quite a bit of Xarrikir that come in to take part in the chicken noodle soup, those that had been wounded, and your fellows. As you guys are taking part in Flint's meal, is there anything you'd like to say to each other?
Fang runs over to Flint, and he's really excited to see him, and he's wagging his tail and being a very good boy.
I have saved a perfect piece of a T-bone steak bone of a tri-tip that's got still a little bit of meat on it, and I like reach down and give it to Fang.
He happily takes it and pounces away and plays with it a little bit before he starts gnawing on it.
Casual.
So, what did you guys find?
Well, There was another Dragonborn in there, but we're not really sure if it was a Dragonborn. It kind of looks different from Sige. Angrier, more stuff,
Bigger?
much. I think though they had the same thing going on that Sige did when we first got here, but like without the friends that fix it.
So,
If you catch my drift.
probably being manipulated by something in the mountain that we've talked about.
Yeah, probably, and I'm really upset at myself for not thinking about that in the moment, because probably should have done that before we killed the dragon.
You killed him.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
We can still ask him a couple questions. 5 to be specific.
True.
In the morning. Not right now.
So that'll be enlightening.
But with a limited number of questions, you know how rare Dragonborn are? I've already gotten the recipes from Sige. I can't get any recipes from that guy now.
That's fair.
Well, it could be one of the questions.
But if we
What?
only have 5 questions, we should really keep it to important stuff. And my recipes are
Probably.
kind of my side
Well-
gig right now.
We did talk about maybe trying to find someone to bring them back, but Sige at this point would say, I think it is better that we let them rest, that they had suffered for a long time before we found them.
This is also very true. So did anyone recognize the ritual that was being cast down there, or any notes, or...
I think you said it was similar to a ritual that we had seen trying to be done.
I don't know if you guys have seen that sort of ritual.
Is it like the one that they were trying to do with the shadow things?
In Orialis,
Mm-hmm.
that one. It's slightly different. You
They
can
had a
go ahead
person
and-
that was chained.
Yeah, you can
sorry,
go ahead
go ahead.
and make me an Arcana check if you would like.
Ooh. I can do that. 17.
17, nice. The ritual you saw in Orialis was very much a summoning type ritual. Like trying to pull something from another plane, another place, to our place, our plane. This, however, was seemingly an infusion of essence. They were trying to do something to this Aarakocran individual.
Oh. I would answer Flint with, I don't know what kind of ritual it was, but it wasn't like the one that we saw in Realis where they were trying to, bring things into a manifestation. It was more of a changing something that is with a vast amount of energy and against their will.
Mm-hmm.
So,
shadow.
And chains.
Made of shadows, I think.
Something like that.
I guess Flint would look to Kakira and ask tomorrow if we could speak to some of the other. We're still in the Aarakocran village, right?
Yeah.
If we could speak with some of the Aarakocran kind of guards or other scouts that go about the mountain and see if there are other tunnels or other caves with similar kind of foot traffic going on or starting to show up. Because if Flint is thinking that if they're trying to manipulate something that's in the physical plane, and we take in the key piece that the barrier on the chain one is weakening, then we can assume that maybe that they have set up a lot of these little rituals in a lot of different caves and areas around the barrier, and they themselves are trying to weaken the barrier on the chained one. And this is how he's reaching out more. And so if we could possibly shut some of these down, we may be able to stop the weakening process, kind of thing.
Or at least slow it down.
Either that, or they're purposefully targeting this village for something. It's one of the two. Yeah, probably the crystal. Which both of these answers beg the question, why here? And how do they know about here, particularly?
How long has this village been here?
Asking Kakira.
What type of ruins or other kind of known things would there be in the history that this village has that are like directly in the area or very close that we could get to within like a day's travel?
You didn't know this, but there is an Archine village that Flint would have heard about that is near us. That is, I assume, older and not known about. That
Fairly secret.
we have been talking about going to. So that might answer that question.
So at least that could be a tie to some connection as to why they possibly settled here.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's something specific to the Xarrikir on why they're here in this place, and maybe there's something else here.
We could probably answer both questions at once, because the Xarrikir got the crystal from the Archine. The Archine gifted it. So, if it is just a here thing, if we go to the Archine, there won't be anything with them. But if it is a multiple place thing, and they picked here because of what it is here, and the magic that's in the crystal, the magic is going to be even more powerful with Archine. So we should see them there as well. So if there's one there, then it would be reasonable to believe that your theory is at least mostly true. Because there will be another place where they're trying to do something. But if there's not one there, then we either suck at finding the places they are, or it was a specific to this thing.
That makes sense.
And I still think it's a good idea to put the spark in the crystal, but that's just me.
I don't know about
What does
that one.
Kakira have to say?
At least not in this crystal.
Yeah, we are not blowing up the crystal, Calvio.
No.
We had this
But I
discussion.
think it's worth talking to the Archine about.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we agree on something.
We agree on a lot of things, thank you very much.
We just like
Yeah,
to thoroughly
okay.
discuss our options and possibilities of what's going on.
You
Mine just
definitely
happened to be
do.
out of the box all the time.
Kakira, was there anything that you wanted to interject into this conversation as they were asking you about the history of the Xarrikir or anything like that? Or are you just going to let them speculate?
There were things I was gonna message you about.
Oh, okay. Are you messaging that?
But I
to me
suppose I
currently?
could just ask as well.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you feel better
Patrick does not know of anything beyond, like, just the Xarrikir being, like, watchers
Mhm.
of the Chained One. I don't remember if there's anything particularly of note in the village.
In this village, you know the thing that is of note is this crystal shard, and over like hundreds of years, the shard that is here, the large shard, tends to grow like small offshoots, and those offshoots are usually given to other small Aarakocran villages to kind of watch the perimeter of this. And information that you would have heard coming back now that I'm remembering. The Aarakocran also used to be a great deal more numerous, and they're kind of purposefully I don't know how to put it other ways. They're purposely not breeding as much so that they can stay under the radar on a lot of people, right? And similar to what the Archine are doing, but they're actually more well known. But you, your father would have approached you this evening with a bit of information. Mentioning to you that there is a fog, this deep miasma that is starting to accumulate at the base of the cage.
Well, that's not good.
I don't like that.
There's always been fog, but he's getting reports that it's starting to get thicker.
That's very bad.
Nope, I don't like that.
Not at all.
So, was there any other questions that you have that you would want to interject in this conversation?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think there is.
Okay. So, unless there's anything else that y'all would like to do, ooh, this camera is liking to get blurry. What's up?
Would it be possible for us to send a message to Heaven's family? Not Heaven's family, Marsica's family.
I mean, let's be real. Marsica is basically heaven in D&D form.
Nothing wrong with
Makes
that.
it easy for me to play
nothing
her.
wrong at all.
That's true. To kind of check in, make sure things
Yeah.
are okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I can send one.
You are not familiar with her family.
Oh, just kidding. I cannot send one.
We
Unless
could send a
Heaven has
letter.
way.
If we can't do it like kind of like now, there's not a whole lot of worth to it because, I mean, let's be real. With as crazy as things get around us, it's very possible that we could beat the bird to your family.
True. That's very true.
Will it likely happen? No, but you never know.
Let me think for a minute. Gotta look back at notes.
As Marsica is wrapping her brain. What do you got, Mike? Flint?
I was responding to Shane.
Oh, okay. Does
We don't
Xarrikir
need
have
to
anything to say?
communicate.
You guys
Oh,
are
it
sitting
doesn't
and
work
thinking.
the same for them. Oh, I was trying to see if rituals work the same way for druids as they do for wizards, but they do not.
We work here to radiation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we should do that.
I can do that.
Because I
Not-
thought I needed one more treatment compared to Xarrikir and Fang.
This is
Yeah.
true. If you wish, you can cast the Cure Radiation on Flint before you finish the day, so you get the spell.
That's why Flint had an upset stomach still.
There you go. It all
There we
makes
go.
sense.
I don't know if it matters. I haven't like prepared it exactly.
I would say that you probably would have. You would have prepared it today through learning the spell, So
Okay.
It's still like the end of that day that you learned it. It's been a long day for you guys.
All right. Then yeah, I'll go ahead and. Is Flint the only one who still has radiation
I
sickness?
believe
Yes, currently.
Okay, cool. I once again forgot to get the actual description of the spell.
That's okay. Basically, it works the same as like I guess
Lesser restoration?
yeah, something
the
like
one?
something along that lines.
Okay.
I believe I said it was a 3rd level spell. I can go back
Yes. What I have is it's a 3rd level spell, and it's abjuration magic. That's all I wrote down. I'm so good at taking notes.
and look. That's enough if you want to just expend the spell slot.
Cool. Yeah, so upon remembering that Flint still hasn't been cured, Kakira would walk over to him and place her hand on his shoulder and cast Cure Radiation.
So I guess his normal ashen kind of soot-colored skin was rather pale, like more whitish ash compared to the darker ash that it was, and it kind of like regains some color as you do this, and you see like kind of his sunken eyes kind of come out a little bit. He's just like, oh, thank you.
You're welcome, and I hope that helps your stomach problem as well.
Me too. And you take the whole bowl and just like down the rest of the soup and grab another bowl. So, are we planning on going to the Xarrikir, or not the Xarrikir, that's where we are, but the Arcane village?
I think
That's
that would be smart.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. As far as it comes down to my family, I think we'll be okay if we do the Arcane Village first.
Okay.
I mean, they sounded nervous, but I
I've seen how hard you hit Marsica. I'm not too worried about your family at the moment.
fair enough.
How far away from your hometown are we currently?
We're pretty
So
far.
Very.
Yeah.
Remember
like-
where we started?
Yes.
It
let
would
me,
be.
Let me
Yeah,
go
it's
ahead
back
and
that
show
direction.
You guys.
Oh, good.
It's like what, weeks if we travel by foot or more?
By foot? Yeah,
Well,
it's probably weeks.
yeah.
So, you guys are currently, like, right here in the mountains. Right? Her village is all the way down here.
Oh, goddamn. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
It would probably take me a
Woo.
week to fly there. At least.
Right.
Love that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, I mean, it's probably fine if we do the Arcane Village. They didn't sound immediately urgent from my notes and from
basically,
the reminder.
they just
from
want to
Aber.
see you soon.
Yeah,
Flint,
soon.
Flint is
They're
gonna go to
getting
bed
nervous
early
'cause
real
they're
quick
seeing
so I can
things.
go grab the food. I'll be right back.
Okay, Flint's going to bed. Okay. Is there
But I
anything
would like
else?
it to rise up on the list of things we do soon.
There was also information that you guys got that the what is it? I guess what should it be called? Kind of like the convergence of the 3 full moons is coming up in
Oh.
about a month.
Yeah.
So that's going to start getting time sensitive soon.
And
I'm
we have
assuming
two.
Xarrikir's thing
Mhm.
needs to be put up there too. There's a lot of threads.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff we need to go do.
Well, knowing us, we will
So-
probably ignore it until the last moment.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah.
That's the college way.
Yep.
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 Give it the good old college try.
Definitely didn't write 5 papers on Wednesday that were due Wednesday.
Dear God.
That's impressive. That's a lot of papers.
Yeah, it
You
is.
underestimate the power of the procrastinator.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, unless there's any other conversations you guys would like to have, you each find a bunk to call your own, and you head to bed for the evening. Okay. Okay. As you guys continue throughout the night, is anybody going to keep watch, or is everybody just gonna sleep?
Are we not in a place to sleep?
You are in like different bunks and things within the spire. I just want to know if anybody was going to do that. You don't have to. There are guards.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say Kakira would know that there would be guards keeping watch. So we can
Yes.
probably just sleep.
Okay. Cool. Sleeping through the night. And a nice, sound sleep full of your own dreams. You wake in the morning, the day ahead of you. Go ahead and mark a long rest.
Yay.
Give me a minute before we do things. I am
Okay.
spell
Quick.
thinging.
Quick,
I'm
duel
doing
thing.
spell things. Leave me alone, okay?
I'm doing spell things too.
I'm gonna make Courtney mad at me because I'm doing spell things, but it's okay.
Yeah, she could always change it when she comes back too.
Oh yeah, she usually does.
No
She just
big
looks at me
deal.
and she's like,
Gert, why you do this?
yeah, basically. But it's fine.
Okay.
All right.
You don't want that one.
While Calvio's doing spell things.
Technically, Siga's doing
Okay.
spell things, but it's fine.
Okay. While Siga's doing spell things, could Kakira go find the wise woman and try to convince her to let Kakira fix her wing?
Yes, you may.
Could Calvio potentially come with you to the wise woman? If
Yeah.
you would have told us where you were going anyway?
Yeah.
Okay. Calvio also promises to not be a jerk.
Can you actually keep that promise, Calvio?
To be determined.
I suppose that's the
You
best. I'll
introduce
get.
Flint to the cook, or whoever the Xarrikir chef is.
Michael, you're at a weird angle with the mic, so you're not. We can't hear you very well.
Can you ask Kakira if you can introduce me to the Xarrikir chef or village cook or whoever is in charge of the food here?
Yeah, I suppose it's sort of on the way.
Sweet.
So,
Oh,
leading
no, it's
Flint
cantrip.
to the the village cook, one of probably about two. Flint is very occupied with this individual for a little while, helping them make breakfast. Making your way to the to Xarrikir. She's currently sitting at the base of the spire next to the bonfire, with her busted wing, and she's eyeing you, almost as if she knows why you're approaching her.
As much as a bird can smile, Kakira would try to put on a very positive look
Okay.
as she walks up. And Kakira would say, "Okay, I know that you aren't terribly interested, but I can help you, and it would really make me feel better knowing that you can still fly.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. I haven't rolled any of these. I got an 11.
An 11?
Yeah.
Kind of looks at you and says, "How much will it hurt?"
It would hurt, but in the long run, it's going to be much better.
She kind of stops for a second, eyes you again. Fine. So, do you go ahead? She kind of like scuttles next to you and sits next and says, "What is it you need to do?"
Are we outside right now?
You're currently sitting at the bottom of the spire.
Oh, okay, so still inside.
Yeah, still inside.
Patrick doesn't know, but I guess Kakira would explain what it is she's gonna do.
Okay.
Dislocated and relocated.
Yeah.
She kind of winces and just nods. And she kind of like moves her wing towards you. It's like, just get it over with.
And Kakira would look at Calvio with kind of a look of like, try talking to her, like as a distraction.
Oh, okay. Calvio would be like, what? Yeah. And I would know her as the wise woman. What?
As the wise woman, yes.
So Calvio, while Kakira is doing things to try and distract, would be like, Miss Wise Woman, I had a thought. About your crystal shard that you have that protects your village here.
Oh?
And I was wondering if you knew how it was powered.
No.
What did Aaron say? David didn't hear what Aaron said.
No, she does not know.
So there's no like source or anything. They just are.
She's going to make a history check to see if she remembers what the Archine told her. She does. She begins to explain. Calvio understands this as she's going to explain this. It's almost as if it's not necessarily that the crystals themselves are powered by anything. It's almost like they neutralize certain frequencies. Like there might be something in the crystal that vibrates slightly, or that when a spell comes into that area that penetrates dreams, the natural frequency of the crystal kind of vibrates and it keeps the spell from taking effect. So it doesn't necessarily powered.
But they are magical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you cast Identify on the crystal?
That's exactly where I was going. Calvio would sit there and ponder a moment, but only a moment, and say, do you know anything else about the crystals? Or just where they came from and this information you've graciously given me?
That's about it.
Well, being a user of the arcane myself, I have various interests in the well-being of, everything not getting broken by things breaking chains, if you catch my drift. And this could help. Okay, fine. We have a very powerful magical thing, and we have been looking for a good place to keep it that's not us. And was wondering if it was a bad idea if we put said magical thing into crystal to make crystal beefier and take up a larger radius around it. And I would look at Kakira as I said this and be like, not to explode the crystal.
This is all theoretical, of course.
Of course.
She looks at
Hyper theoretical.
And taking her attention completely off of Kakira at this point, you asking this. And
perfect.
She says she looks at you saying, "You may not use any sort of magic on our crystal. On the crystal we bestow upon you that is yours, to do with what you wish."
Oh, of course. I wouldn't dream of doing anything to your crystal.
At this point, Kakira would go ahead and try to reset her wings.
Yeah. Make me a strength check. This is...
Ooh.
Ooh. That's all that
with
happens.
advantage, because she's not paying attention.
Okay. All right, dice. Don't fail me.
What, you can't use your medicine check for this one? This is a doctor thing.
Yeah, is this not a medicine check?
But it's a straight... Okay, it could be a medicine check with your strength modifier.
That defeats the point of a medicine check, but I
Wait, how does that work?
No,
basically, you use your
shoulder. You can stand above someone, and while they're below you, and you put them in between your legs, and you bring their arm up, and you use the leverage, and you don't need to use strength.
Ah! And good doctors would know this.
Sure, make me a medicine check. That's fine. Fine.
We need Taylor. We need to find out.
With advantage or no?
Let's just do a straight medicine check.
Okay. Even though I rolled the 25 earlier to know exactly what was up.
Oh, then yes, with advantage. That is right.
Okay. Cool.
Someone, Yippee Kaye is giving Kakira inspiration.
Oh. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Dude, should I roll a third time? How does that
no,
work?
you just keep. You can. That's a
Okay.
point that you keep, and you can use at any point. It doesn't have to be for this specific roll.
Cool. So if this
Thank
is
you
a
for that.
medicine check,
Yes, this is a medicine check with advantage.
26.
26. Immediately, there's just this pop, and she's like, "Ah!" and screams in the mid conversation with Calvio, and she just looks at daggers at Kakira.
And Kakira would say, "Okay, all done."
And she kind of tests out her wing and tries to flap a couple times to fly, and she's like, "Oh, that little bit of a twinge," but she lands back down and nods thanks.
And do I have more health potions? I'll just use a spell.
Okay.
And then Kakira will go ahead and cast Healing Word.
All right.
Just to help speed up the recovery process a little bit.
How much do you heal?
I have to roll for that. Hold on. It's 6.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. She doesn't even hurt. She's as she lands back down, you cast Healing Word, and she feels completely normal now again. It's like,
Dope.
"Thank you very much, Kakira."
You're welcome. Glad I could help.
That was definitely the reason why we came, by the way. I'm just the distraction.
And then she gives daggers for eyes at both of you this time. And then she
the
looks
information
at you.
was useful.
She looks at you, Calvio, and says, "Tell me, are there others that want that specific artifact that you have?
Oh, yeah.
Can we defend against those if they happen to find us?"
Calvio would look at Kakira and then look back to the wise woman and would say, "How do you feel about dragons that spit death?"
She kind of looks at the two of you aghast. No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
I appreciate your faith, but there's only so much we can do.
Of course. The longer we have had it, the more we have realized that keeping it on the move is for the best, and not leaving it in a particular spot. But should we find somewhere that could keep it rather hidden and away from scrying eyes, might be a good use of things. Speaking of which, does that thing protect against scrying?
No. Dreams. Incursions on the mind.
Just dreams. Just dreams. Okay. One moment. Calvio would cast See Invisibility and would immediately look around.
Okay. Nothing currently. How long does See Invisibility last? 10 minutes, right?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, cool. So, not at this moment, but as long as you keep concentration on it. I'll let you know if anything pops up.
It is not concentration.
Oh! I will let you know if anything pops up within that hour.
And Calvio would kind of get the glowy eyes and would look around and sigh. Oh. One of these days, I'm not gonna have to wake up and do that. One of them. Maybe.
Well, stay vigilant. Is there anything else you wish to ask the wise woman before we move on?
If she knows the way relatively well to the Archine and can give us any hints on that or advice.
She says they're about 2 days travel, 2 nights, due east by flying, or due west by flying, on the other side of the mountain range, on the other side of the valley in the mountain range.
Calvio would nod and say, "Thank you for your time, wise woman."
You're welcome. Thank you for this. And she gestures at her wing. Flint.
As we head back, Calvio would hit Kakira's wing and be like, "See, I can be good."
Well, you're a distraction, and yes, I think you make a great distraction, Calvio.
You are right.
I will keep that in mind later.
So as you guys are walking back, Flint, you're sitting with the Aarakocran cook, helping him cook the meal.
We are not sitting. We have prepared a whole breakfast entourage for the entire village. I busted out my whole cook set and have been helping him do this. and we got like French toast, bacon, sausage. You know, we got hash browns. We got the whole deal. Of course, mashed potatoes. Always gotta have mashed potatoes.
He gives you like this look, and he's like, you see like a few times he kind of goes and like takes some notes on some of the things that you do.
When he comes over to take the notes, I like slide the cookbook that I'm using my recipes like in a more visible way for him, so like he can see it better. Like,
and he definitely was watching. He's like, and like nods and thanks. Is there anything you want to ask while you're here?
Any Aarakocra native dishes that are good for uplifting the spirits when they seem down or possibly enchanted or something?
He thinks for a moment, and make me a persuasion check. What? Do you have a
Wow.
plus 10? You crit that. Oh
No,
my god.
It wasn't a crit. It would have been green.
Oh. What?
He
Where
can
did
get
you
higher than a
score?
fucking 30.
He says he has a plus 12.
Expertise, baby.
Whoa!
Hard first.
Alright. So this guy that as you're talking, he kind of like, as you ask him, he's like, I like you. And he looks around the corner, makes sure nobody's watching. He closes the door, and he leans in, kind of looming over you like this beak. And it's a little weird. He gets his beak like right up to your ear and says,
I've like just got a piece of paper and pen out and like just.
can you keep a secret?
Flint would probably not be able to keep a straight face. He would probably laugh a little bit. And then, when it comes to food and recipes, I can keep a secret.
I can tell you're a serious man. And he kind of like takes this little stone that you don't know where he got it from. There's a pocket somewhere. And it seems to slightly resemble the crystal on just the outside of town. And he takes a little like grinder thing, and he takes it and has like these basically takes this and he says, you put this, and grinds it, the little dust, and he says, usually increases their mood. And if you put this spice, and he hands this like this small gemstone to you, it has
You see, like, Flint, all of a sudden, his glasses that he has, there's, like, an extra little flip lens that comes down, like, almost like a jeweler's. And, like, you see he's looking at it, and he pulls out a grain of rice, and he starts looking at the grain of rice, and then he pulls out some salt, and he's looking at the salt, and he's, like, comparing it to, like, all the different types of food that he's got, like...
It has 6 uses. If you add this spice to a food, it will allow that person for the next 8 hours to have advantage against charm effects.
Sweet.
6 uses.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What, I'm gonna just,
He's like, don't tell anybody. It keeps their spirits up, makes sure they have really good dreams.
Oh, I will. Thank you for this, friend. I pull out the recipe for the French toast, and I copy it down really fast, and I hand it to him. I'm like,
He takes
recipe
it, he's like,
for
thank you,
a rare recipe, I suppose. What do I call this in my inventory?
Dream spice.
By the way, when you said grinder, the music went to the one that starts with the like wind up
Oh
music
my
box, and so you
God.
said grinder, and it was like right at the moment, and Heaven and
That's
I were
awesome.
like,
I was wondering why you guys. I was like, why? What's happening right now?
it was just,
Ah,
it could not have been more perfect.
that's amazing. So, you guys are reconvening. Flint comes out and brings out this glorious breakfast for you all to eat. You indulge in this wonderful morning meal. Where are you guys going? Before I forget, the wise woman would come with a crystal about the size of 2 fists apart. And
Does it
brings
look like
forth
the
this-
small crystal?
yeah, but bigger. It's the same type
You
of
see
crystal.
Flint's jaw just drop, like, oh.
And she brings this in as the other Aarakocran are kind of like watching this happen with a slight bit of reverence. She places this crystal in Kakira's hands. And she says, "For helping our village and helping defend it, please make sure that it at least gets where it needs to go."
Thank you, Nariki. We will likely take it to Deacon Zinlin back in Aurealis.
Good. Good. Say hello to your mentor for me. And she begins to walk away. So, unless there's anything else here that you guys want to do, what direction are you going?
Oh, there is definitely one thing left here we have to do. We gotta go talk to the dead dragoon.
What do I call the stone?
It's called a Dreamshard.
The
Okay.
crystal that Calvio doesn't want to blow up.
Got it.
Totally sincere about that. Calvio does not want to blow up the crystal.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Flint wants to eat it.
Yep, that little shard that you have, Flint, has 6 uses.
I've got like
How big does this shard, or not
Yeah,
shard,
look
does this
out.
like crystal thing look? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. How big does this crystal look in comparison to the spark?
In comparison to the spark,
Yes.
the part of the spark you have is maybe, what did I say? It was maybe about the size, half the size
As
of
a
a fist
fist.
currently. This is about 2 fists put together like this. It's about that big.
So it would totally fit, is what you're telling me.
Mhm.
Okay. Just curious. So, do we go to the Archine, or do we go deliver the crystal first? The Archine aren't going anywhere, but this crystal might be important for them to have sooner rather than later.
That's a
And
good
it would
point.
get Zinlin off our ass.
Is it? Well, how long would it take to fly back to Aurealis and then fly out to the Archine?
It's about a day from Aurealis to where you are, and if you were then to go, kind of how it works now, if you think about it like a triangle, like here, it's 2 days about to the Archine village and 1 day down, and then it would be about 3 days to the Archine village from Aurealis.
I'm just thinking. In level of importance, while it is important for us to go see the Archine, I think we've kept Zinlin waiting a long time for something that's a very pressing issue to him.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
even if it is another day, maybe we should go take care of this.
I think it would be worth it, and then we can turn around and go see the Archine afterward.
Yeah. And as curious as I am about this crystal, I'm not willing to have anything happen to it in our trip. I think
Well,
not having more than one important item on us is kind of important.
I suppose that's a fair point.
Mhm.
And, I'd really like to not be carrying the thing that the planet's looking for right now to, into the world, but it's fine. As long as I have one, they don't.
That's fair.
That's a good point.
And you have fireballs.
I have 2 fireballs. On a good day, I
Did
might
you
have
buy-
3.
Did you buy that necklace of fireballs, or did you leave it there?
No, I left it.
Okay.
I spent all my money on a dagger that makes me feel like I'm in Naruto. It's fine.
Yep.
Worth
Which is
it.
still being made. It's about what?
Yep.
4 days into the process. You got what did I say? A week and a half last time you asked.
Yeah. And
So by the time you go back,
hers-
Marsica's quiver should be done.
yeah, I was about to say, I think Marsica's is done.
Yeah, it should be at this point.
Marsica's should
So
be
see,
done.
more reasons to go back. We deliver the crystal, you get unlimited arrows. Just a good time for everyone.
Yeah.
We can get more diamonds so that when people, bite the bullet, we can pick them up. Since
I
we've
assume
used a
that
few of
one is
those.
directed at me.
Well, it's
We need
always
to-
good to not die.
Some sort of new toys for you, and that means diamonds.
What does Xarrikir have to say about this? Does he have a preference one way or the other?
No, he doesn't really.
Okay. Flint?
Flint's cool with whatever, but if we go back to town, he needs to stock up and get all his recipe supplies, get some spices and stuff, make sure he's all good. Maybe pick up a couple of new pieces of cooking equipment. I'm sitting at almost 100 gold, so I can add to my repertoire.
So, what are we asking the dead dragon?
Yes.
Recipe.
Well, that's definitely on the burner. Let's make sure we don't have 5 other questions that are more important first. But yes.
Who are
Yes.
you?
I feel like all we're gonna get is a name.
How did this happen?
What's your favorite color?
God damn it. I think we need to be very specific and skip the whole hi, my name's Calvio. What's your name bit. We should go straight to the what was the darkness surrounding you? Who were you working for bit? Just my
So if
2
he
cents.
wasn't willingly working for them, maybe how did it happen in the first place?
Who forced you to do this?
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways of wording things, but I have a feeling if we go about this the way we normally do, we're going to get the answers we normally get. That's kind of where I'm at. It's going to be Galadriel or some like that, and we know it's them. We need something to push the story forward, on this one. So what don't we know the answer to currently? We don't know where they are. That's always a good question. So that one might be a little bit of the shot in the dark.
Try asking how or what they were doing to him.
Sadiver also mentioned in chat. Okay.
We do know that one though.
Yeah, you know where some of that is. Okay. Just wanted to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
We could ask how they turned him? Is that...
I have a feeling it's the same thing that was starting with Sige, and Calvio would look to Sige and say, did it kind of feel the same to you? Does Sige think it feels the same?
Slightly different, maybe not as strong. And but Sige only got a taste of what that possibly could be. So
I
Go and say that.
I don't remember exactly what the dragon looked like when we were fighting it. Did it look like it had the same kind of shadows coming off of it that the
yes.
smaller dragons did, or
In fact, this one looks more like the large shadow that figure looked more like the large shadow dragon that you guys had encountered in the Stetgu Wood, and it had wisps coming off of it like that.
Maybe
So
like,
then-
where did you come from would be a good question.
yeah.
But that's more of a curiosity question than a necessary information question.
Well, okay, so we know that whatever Sige had was a curse of some kind.
Correct. So we could ask where you cursed.
Yeah. Because I don't know exactly what they were doing to. Oh, that might be a good question. What were they doing to the Arkokra that they had?
Yeah, that
'Cause
would be bad.
if
And why were they here?
yeah.
And that question can answer Michael's theory on if there's more than one, or Flint's theory of if there's more than one of them here, or if this was a one-off thing. That would be a very clear cut, like, hey, we need to go find this or not. I think those are two important questions. Yeah, what were you doing to your Cochrane and why were you here?
And just so you guys know, it doesn't necessarily have to answer truthfully if it sees us as an enemy, although I think this is a unique situation because he didn't seem particularly upset when we did kill him. So I don't know if that would potentially change his look on us.
Would he become upset with the fact that we killed him, though?
Well, I mean, he did say like thank you. I think.
Yeah, Sige would also would mention that they felt at rest and thankful.
Okay.
So it might be okay.
What's your passive perception, Calvio?
16. But Siga's also with me and has a 25.
But Calvio has see invisibility on.
Oh!
There's a moment as you see this small orb blink into existence that seems to be surrounding currently Kakira.
You guys would see Calvio immediately just like sigh. Would walk really close to the thing where he knew that the thing could see him. Flick off the orb, and then snap and cast a spell magic.
All right, and then the orb spells.
I really hate having to do this every day.
Well,
Why do we have to do this every day?
I have Dispel Magic as well, so, you know.
Yeah, but you can't see them.
That's true.
I wish I
just
could just
easy.
shoot it. That would be great.
Dispel
shoot
magic
it?
arrow.
Ooh!
Oh.
No, we just need a way for me to see it, though, all the time.
Calvio immediately pulls out a
Glasses.
book that is tattered and looks like he's opened it 15 times more than he should have, and it begins writing ideas.
Kakira would say, "Wait, if you can put spells into arrows, what would happen if you put a fireball spell into an arrow?"
Calvio
eyes
immediately
just get
stops
wide.
writing and looks up, eyes wide, That's incredible.
Marsica's gonna lean over and be like, "Can you make that? Is that possible?"
Calvio
Marsica, make me
immediately
a
like
history check.
scratches everything out from before and then begins writing again.
Marsica, make me a history check.
So, other questions we can ask this guy.
Fireball arrows are important, okay?
History. Oh.
There
You
is
think
not a
Dragon
question
would know
that
about
you
the
can't
fireball arrows?
answer with fireball.
Okay. It's a 16 for the history check, by the way.
Not bad. You would know that there are some traditions of elves that learn how to channel their magic through a bow and arrow. They often call themselves arcane archers.
Oh!
Fireball arrows.
Cool gear like that.
Fucking incredible.
We slightly learned a little
You
bit about these
took,
guys. Okay.
several different pieces of leather and some pieces of metal, and you enchanted each piece of them individually to do different things, and you put that together into the quiver itself. Therefore, whatever is taken out of the quiver is given the enchantment of whatever is put on the quiver. And so you are able to take out automatically enchanted arrows from this quiver. And
Okay.
with the
Hear me
different
out.
pieces, you can do numerous
Hear me out.
spells.
Hear me out. We take all of these pieces of leather and put them on different parts of Marsica's unlimited arrow quiver. And depending on where she takes it out, she gets a different enchantment. You can be like a fucking superhero that jumps around buildings and off things with special arrows that
Marsica's gonna
saves
speak
the
out.
universe.
Oh my god. Okay, this sounds amazing. She's all excited, right? She's gonna speak up and she goes, Wait! Now that we're talking about it, there are these guys called arcane archers.
Or you could sew them onto your clothes and take it out and go boop and give it to it. And then shoot it. Calvio flips like 3 pages forward in this book and just starts writing again.
Xarrikir walks up to you, Kakira, and says, "You and your friends have been deliberating for quite some time."
Well, I don't know if I would call it deliberating anymore. It's more of fantasizing
Trying to
over
make her
magical
a badass is what we are doing.
over magical
This is
bow
important
stuff.
All the stuff we're
Archer magic archery.
we can do to my cookware.
We could have magical potatoes.
Every day.
Or we
Like,
could give
tearing up, like,
fireball
getting
infused
emotional.
potatoes to people
What
we
is
really don't
happening
like.
right now?
Fireball
And give
cupcakes.
them massive
Fireball
shit.
cupcakes.
What?
We go give our enemies some cupcakes and then boom explosion because they're fireball.
Exactly.
Welcome to Theory Crafting Night, everyone.
I know.
We interrupt this D&D campaign to bring you
Look,
Harry Potter.
all I'm saying
Yeah.
is there's totally not a movie where a floating cupcake gets eaten and bad things don't happen, you know? That's not a thing. I'm just saying the fireball cupcake idea is incredible. I'm in. I am sold.
Who turns down a cupcake? Who turns down a
Let's put
cupcake?
like red
The
sprinkles
ghost
on it.
he knows more about locations of the spark.
Flint is done with our shit.
What did
Or
you say, sorry?
Scrying cupcakes. What about
Scrying
scrying
cupcakes?
cupcakes? Like the person eats it, and
then
there's
you
a
can just,
scrying
like-
I know
one.
where they are all the time.
It would be scrying tea. You'd have to sip the tea. And it's like during the time you're sipping the tea, you can scry on another person who's sipping the tea.
Or it could be dispel magic cupcakes that we make, and every time I have to get rid of one of these fucking scry things, I
Eat a
throw a
cupcake.
cupcake at it, and the last thing they see is a cupcake being thrown at their face.
I think I would want like gravy for that. Like you just take a ladle of gravy and just like throw in that.
Just
Oh my god.
What are you guys doing right now? What is...
We're
By
clearly
the
being
way,
very productive.
This is
Very
all in
productive.
character.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Ah.
Okay.
Xarrikir is just sitting there like raised eyebrows, and at this point, Kur has flown in and is saying, "What is going on?"
Look, when you've
I've
seen
Been
the stuff that
standing here
we've
for some
seen,
time.
We like to make sure we've checked every option before we do something.
Yeah.
So not much has changed, Kakira.
No.
Well, are
Well,
you going to stay here for another
sort
day?
of.
Should we prep beds, or...
I believe we're planning on heading back to Borealis today.
Very well.
invisibility arrows.
Ooh.
Are we gonna question the ghost, or are we just gonna?
Yeah. Fine. Let's go talk to the
All
dead
right. Holy shit.
I love
That's
how it
awesome.
started with, we need to figure out questions that'll progress the story. We proceed to go down this rabbit hole.
I mean, fireball arrows would progress the story in some way.
There is not a question that you can't answer with fireball.
That's right. That's right.
Does
but
it answer the question well all the time? No. But you can answer the question with it.
I don't know that
It's just
the
usually no.
invisibility arrows would help though, because if you shoot your enemy and they go invisible,
Hear me out.
then you would lose your enemy.
You shoot 2 arrows. You shoot the fireball arrow, and then you hit the fireball arrow with an enlarged arrow.
Oh, so I Robin Hood it with an invisibility
then-
arrow.
You hit the enlarged arrow with an invisibility arrow, and then there is a massive invisible fireball arrow being flung wherever the hell you want it.
That sounds very tricky, but I'm up for the challenge.
Totally not something I stole from a movie I've seen.
I'd
No,
say
not at all.
by this point, you guys have walked over to the funeral pyre of the...
That's fine.
The dragonoid individual. Kakira, you would also know, but while I'm thinking about this, if you want to be particularly gruesome, if you have a way to preserve the head, all you need is a head, but you can cast Speak with Dead every 30 days on something.
This says every 10.
Oh, every 10 days on
Oh.
something. So if you have a way to preserve the head.
Would you be talking
does-
about this at all out loud?
Don't
is
you
up to
have like a
Maybe not yet.
alchemy
Hold on.
kit?
I do have a question. Would casting Gentle Repose over and over and over count?
Every day? It's definitely something you can do. That is one of the purposes of that spell.
Oh, it lasts 10 days. How convenient.
Wow.
So,
I suppose Kakira would rather sheepishly say, well, we could remove the head and preserve it and ask it questions every 10 days.
Sige would look at you and huff very audibly, and you would see cold air in a very cold place, mind you, come out of her nose.
You know,
Kakira
As you say that.
would look at Sig and go, I know. I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying it's an option.
even I think that sounds like some sort of strange torture for dead people.
I agree.
Kakira, make me a religion check.
I'm supposed to be good at that.
I know I need recipes, but I don't need them that bad.
Where's religion?
+9, I think.
It's only +6.
Ah.
It's a
Damn.
15. It's a 15. It's not
Oh,
terrible.
15? Yeah, I would say that's enough. So as you are thinking about this, and they say, Marsica says that seems to be some sort of torture for dead people, you would know, in fact, that this magic is sort of animating this body enough to show the memories that it had in life. Its spirit has left the body and has passed on.
So essentially it doesn't feel anything.
It doesn't feel anything. The spirit has moved on, but it's creepy as shit. Because
It sure
the
is.
skull does move and everything. But there are
well-
some that it seems like it might be torturing the soul, but not in any way you've heard.
Okay. Kakira would say that. And then add, we probably should not desecrate the body, but I suppose depending on how the questioning goes, we can revisit that discussion.
Whatever you say, Doc.
I said we shouldn't do it.
Sige would also say... No, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I said Flint also agrees in not doing the desecrating the body.
Sige would be vehemently against keeping the dragon head. Calvio would shrug. I'd be curious to hear what it has to say. Maybe not that curious, though.
Well, we can still ask it 5 questions now.
Yeah. Just not later.
Mm,
I also don't know how I feel about one of us carrying a dragon head around all the time. That's gonna be gross, man.
Does
Talk about unsanitary for cooking.
Would it get smelly?
Not what Jen
Yeah.
no. It's
No?
protected from decay.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And can't become undead. So I suppose no, it would not smell because it wouldn't decompose in any way. Not in
Does the
character.
Wand of
that
Smiles
was not in
work
character.
on a dead thing?
No, don't you do it. No.
That was David asking, not Calvio.
Okay. Well, this is Heaven telling David no.
What's the difference?
Even the look on Shade's face when you mentioned that, I was like, oh. Talk about rigor mortis. Oh my god.
Huh. There's a poll question for you to ask. Does Wand of Smiles work on a dead corpse? Yes or
Somebody
no?
wants to do that.
I don't know how to do that, otherwise I would.
Well, we haven't tested that either.
I still think you should put Wand of Smiles as a redeemable thing on the channel.
Oh, remind me
By
to
the
do
way.
that. I should totally put
Lots
that
of
in there.
points to do it, but
Yeah.
I'd do it.
So,
I could
What you
make
were
a poll right now and see how many people vote for Wand of Smiles.
There you go.
Like, would it
That's
be
a-
called
yeah.
like a deathly smile at that point if you use it?
oh my god.
If looks could kill.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so what are we
Okay.
asking this thing? What are we asking this thing? I don't remember the 2 questions. I know we had 2 questions.
Yeah, what are you guys' questions?
Fuck. What were the 2 questions?
What were they doing to the Aarakocra?
Uh-huh. Why were they here?
Uh,
Okay, I'm with you now.
Yep. Glad I can help.
You caught me up fast.
If they know where any pieces are of the spark or something like that, maybe.
I
Pretty good.
suppose
I
that-
think we know where they all are, though. Like, we've got a pretty
we-
solid
we
lead on
don't-
all the ones that are left.
We don't
We
know
can ask
for
them if
sure.
they collected any.
Oh, wait, do we know for sure?
That's a great question, though. If they
Well-
have any.
Ooh.
That is a great fucking question. Okay.
I go to my spells instead of my
Where's their
note.
main base?
Yeah. So we're asking, what were they doing to Aarakocra? Why were you here? Do the people who did this to you have a piece of the spark? Where do the people who did this to you stay?
Are you writing these down?
I guess I probably should, huh?
And regardless, as you guys are writing these down, as soon as Kakira casts this spell, she is in control and she asks the questions. The line of questioning may lead Kakira to think of another question to ask instead.
Yeah, that's fine. What were you doing to Aarakocra? Why were you here? Do the people who did this to you, or do the people who did this to you have a piece of the spark? Where do the people who did this to you stay?
How do you make your chicken wings?
So that leaves you a question for follow-up.
Okay.
But if we don't get a follow-up question, maybe we have one on reserve. I have a feeling you're going to want a follow-up question, though. We're probably going to wish we had a few follow-up questions.
Where did you write those down?
Where was he
They're in my
captured?
notes.
Oh.
I'll put them in the roll 20.
But you guys said he was thankful for being released from this, right? So that we can presume that he was probably forced into doing this. Which
Yes.
means that they had to capture him from somewhere, which means that there's probably more Dragonborn where he was captured. So we should ask him where he was when he was captured. Because if they're after Dragonborn for something to do with all this, then we're definitely going to want to know where possibly one of their home bases may be.
I am
Okay.
a little excited about the speak with dead thing. It's the first time this is happening in game after playing for over a year.
So that's 5 questions right now. If we need a follow-up question, I think it should be on the one about the spark.
Right.
Because we can ask them, do you know where they got it?
Oh, okay.
And that could take something off. They probably don't, though, so I don't know if that's the question to ask. But if there is a follow-up question, that's the one to ask it on. And maybe ask the other questions. Maybe we should ask the first 4 before we decide on the follow-up question. Because it's not like they're a regular person who's going to follow line of conversation, you know. I think we should ask those 4.
The first 4?
Okay, hang on. I think our first question should be, why were you here?
Okay.
Because that could give us an answer to our original first question anyway.
Right.
Inadvertently. The second question I think we should ask is, do the people who did this to you have a piece of the spark? Because of the pressing things, that could go to the top of the list very fast.
Okay, so why were you here? And then the spark question.
Yeah. From there's a couple of ways you could go with that. If you want to focus on the spark, ask, where have you seen it?
I mean, I think
You know?
we can discuss as well after I cast this.
How long
spell.
does this spell work? For
10 minutes.
Ah.
5
Okay.
questions.
I will put on a 10-minute timer as soon as you do that, and I will keep us honest.
All right.
Hang on, I'm getting ready. Okay, I am ready when you are.
All right.
I'll hold it up so we can see it.
All right. Oh,
So you going?
Go
Here
ahead
we
and
go.
describe what is the visual of your spell, and I'll tell David when to start the timer. How does your casting of Speak with Dead look as the magic envelops this body?
I would say it's kind of like a swirl of raven feathers that kind of like form like a double helix kind of a thing that swirls around the body as the magic kind of reanimates it.
All right. This double helix of feathers kind of surrounds it, almost cradles the head, lifting it up. And you see this small bit of purplish, blackish energy swirling through your raven feathers as the head animates. Go ahead and start the timer.
Why were you here?
For the crystal.
Okay.
And an experiment.
So the Aarakocra was an experiment. Okay.
What was the experiment?
It kind of like cocks its head and says,
To create an old guiltig.
Hey.
I'm assuming David's taking notes, so I will.
Uh-huh.
yeah, to create an old guiltig.
Sounds bad.
Okay. Calvio doesn't know what that is. Calvio doesn't
That's-
know what that is. David knows what that is. Calvio doesn't know what that is.
Do the people who did this to you have a piece of the spark?
Kind of looks. Make me a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Can
Well,
wait. Can Sige give him guidance on this one?
I was
yes.
gonna ask if I have to announce inspiration before or after I roll, or does it not matter?
So how it works is if you give inspiration, you can say before the roll that you are going to do inspiration, and then it just gives you advantage. Or if you don't
Okay.
like your roll, you can say, I'm going to re-roll this and use the inspiration point.
Okay, and the guidance would go to whichever one is higher.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he gonna do guidance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Too important of a question.
Alrighty. I'm going to use me mum's inspiration.
Aha!
Yay, mum.
That's guidance.
I rolled the same number twice.
Oh, what is it?
I don't think the guidance is gonna make a difference.
Okay.
But I roll the guidance anyway.
You
roll the
probably should.
guidance.
I don't think it's not gonna make a difference. I got okay.
4 total.
Can Sige use her guidance? Or not her guidance, her inspiration. Her inspiration to fix this?
No, since it is Kakira's fate. It looks at you and says,
I do not know of which you speak.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
You may.
Can I do so as well since I'm listening?
Yeah, sure. Three questions.
I got a 13.
It's
19.
fairly obvious to the two of you still that he is lying.
Well, that's an answer in and of itself.
Yup.
He said that he doesn't know what we speak, though, right? What of we speak?
That is what he
So he
said.
doesn't. It's not saying whether they have it or not, though. He's just saying lying about knowing of the spark.
So, what is your next question?
Um.
I believe the poll has ended for Calvio to, in fact, use the Wand of Smiles. Just so you guys know.
Only two. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Two people voted.
3.
I guess
I'm looking
where
at the
they
last
are
question.
would be where they are and where he was when this happened. Those would be the two that I would ask.
Okay.
I mean, we've pretty much got everything else. Where they are being more important, I think.
Okay. Where did the people who did this to you stay?
And he kind of gives you this quizzical look.
My father, Uzgathan, is loose in this world.
Kakira looks at Calvio and mouths the dragon.
And Calvio kind of like
Is it any question I ask, or is it like I can control? Like, okay, I'm asking it this question.
Basically, any question you ask, you have to be very careful.
Okay, so even if I ask Calvio a question,
It may answer, and take it as your last question.
excellent.
Genie. Fuck that.
Kakira. Oh, go ahead.
That's if it hears you when you ask Calvio that question.
I mean, do you need me to answer something first before you ask your last question?
Kakira would just look at Calvio and say,
Is Calvio smart enough to figure out what she's about to ask before she asks it?
well, she's not gonna ask a question.
Okay.
She's gonna say, I'm going to ask about the dragon, but gives you a look like a question-y look, but does not state a question.
Your call. Oh, why did ask it why it thanked us? I think there's more answers in that question than the other one.
That's a good question. All right. So Kakira would look back at the dragon and say, "Why did you thank us?"
For releasing me from torment.
You watch as the raven feathers begin to fall and dissipate as the head falls back down onto the funeral pyre. Is Calvio going to use the Wand of Smiles on this thing as it's falling back down?
Danny made a good point saying, 3 votes out of 16 viewers is not a lot to force it, so it's up to you.
Aaron, are you gonna feel bad if I don't do this as a channel host?
It's your character. It's your character. You do what you want.
Okay.
It was just a fun
that
thing.
okay. Yeah, no. People are taking votes back now, so okay.
It's
I'll
your
wait
character.
for the
You
next
do what you
one.
want, man.
No, that's good. I'm okay.
Okay. So, the dragonoid figure lays back down almost peaceful on the funeral pyre.
David, when the session's over, can you give me the notes you wrote down? Because I didn't write anything.
Yes.
I also have it all written down.
Okay, cool. I just need it from somebody.
Yay,
I need to be
note-taking
better about
crayons.
taking notes again.
Flint would look to everybody and be like, please tell me we're not taking the head.
Kakira would look immediately to Calvio.
No.
Okay.
Believe me, there are more questions I wish to ask this fellow. Not that bad.
Thank God I don't have to slightly cut back on your portions now.
Is this something you do?
He'd just be ever so slight. Just a little petty about it. He's like,
Yeah. Just a couple of peas, nothing major, but enough. Enough that I know.
enough that Flint knows.
I mean, I suppose we could just take the whole body. That would be less gruesome, but also significantly more inconvenient.
Aaron, can you spell Ogiltig for me?
Yes, I'll put it in the chat.
Thanks. I can't.
No.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a word.
I did spell it right.
I spelt it as 3 separate words. Yep. I thought it was 3 separate words.
Ah, the old Giltig.
The old Giltig. Nice. I like it.
With a question mark.
I have no idea what it is.
Question
Sounds
mark.
bad. Sounds like something out of a H.P. Lovecraft book or something.
Yeah.
And then can you spell the name that he said?
I don't have my note. I think it was Ushkathan.
Ushkathan, something. Ushkathan.
I thought that one had a Z in it for some reason.
I did too. I heard
Yeah.
Ushkathan.
Oh, it may have been Ushkathan. Oh, it was Uz. That's right. There we go.
Damn it, Aaron.
Ha.
Well, that was enlightening.
What's an Ogiltig?
I have no. Does Calvio know what an Ogiltig is? Actually,
Calvio
better
does.
question.
Would Marsica
Does-
know?
Sige know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone know?
Good question. If it's a weird thing, then it's probably up to Flint, but you never know.
Yeah. I would say the only 2 people in the group that might know would be Xarrikir or Flint.
Oh shit.
Oh, right.
Can you roll real quick? See what this is?
Yeah.
Don't-
Flint can
don't
make
do a
roll.
Patrick
Oh,
roll.
It looks like Shane is frozen. Sadness ensues. That's fine.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, it's all
Camera
good.
freeze.
Yeah, your camera froze. It's no big deal.
So am I rolling history?
History. Both Xarrikir and Flint can make me history checks. Ah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
What do you got, Xarrikir? That's a no.
Xarrikir.
Flint, you know you've heard the word before. And it seems to be said in hushed circles. A figure that's usually attached to cults. And they're often known, like the people who've run these cults are often called Untitled, and you're not entirely sure why.
So all I really know is that these Ogiltigs are often like the real leaders of the cult. Not really sure how or why.
Often used as a messiah of sorts.
They worship them, almost like a messiah or demigod of sorts. Maybe they're like a conduit to the god or something. I don't know.
Oh, the ritual we started to witness was essentially changing the Aarakocra into an Ogiltig.
That's what you've been led to believe.
So, why?
With some kind of shadow magic, shadow energy.
So, do they would Calvio know if in this process they become possessed by something? Or, like, the energy takes them over? Like, what causes them to shift to the cult mentality?
If it's, make me an Arcana check. You might be able to get this
Okay.
from an Arcana angle. Kakira, what you got?
Would Kakira have noticed anything about the spell as she was dispelling it?
You would have known, like, what you saw from this spell and from this arcane and ritual circle was that bits of, like, there were shackles of shadow, and then tendrils of shadow were, like, finding the vein points within the Aarakocra and, like, trying to infuse its blood with this shadow
Yeah,
energy. Sounds good.
Dosey dose.
22. You would think it may have something to do similar to like a warlock and a patron connection, where they may have they would have some level of autonomy, but there may be an influence that they would have to fight against if they wanted to retain
Interesting.
control, I guess, or fight against it.
I suppose
Oh.
one could assume the patron is the chained one, then.
And is his curse, does that fulfill a similar purpose? Just through different means? I don't remember how Sige
Siga's
acted.
curse? It is through it's similar things, yeah. But the Okiltig thing seems to be kind of like a more what's that?
So Kakira used remove curse on Sige, and then also dispelled the magic from whatever ritual or spell they were doing.
Yes.
So would Kakira know that those were similar, like similar things?
You would know that it was similar, but whatever was happening to the Aarakocra, if it took effect, it would be permanent, no matter what you did. The thing that was dealing with Sige was something that was, in the grand scheme of things, easier to deal with.
Okay. So this is the same kind of thing, but the one in that cave is permanent.
To see if you connect some dots, go ahead and, Kakira, make me a history check with advantage.
Oh.
While Kakira is doing that, Sige would walk to the funeral pyre and lay his hand on the dragon that's on the pyre, and say, "Sleep well," and just kind of sit there for a minute. And while Sige is there, would attempt to feel the warmth in his hand that he felt as he was at the shrine of, I'm scrolling back to find the name.
Tinamon.
Tinamon, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
To try and urge this one to Tinamon in the afterlife.
At this point in this moment, Xarrikir walks up and towards the group, but mostly towards Sige, saying,
Are you ready for us to put them to rest?
Does Sige feel any warmth?
Sadly, no. Not from this individual.
Sige would remove his hand and look to them and say, "Yes, I think so."
Any objections before they proceed?
I'm wondering if Kakira can do anything. I don't know if it would change anything.
If you don't, it's no big deal.
I mean, I assume Kakira would have some sort of ritual or something that, like, she's familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Just by nature of kind of, her, no, I guess deity.
Her upbringing.
And maybe that would have some effect in some way.
As you are aiding Xarrikir in this process of preparing the body, you aid her in setting out raven feathers around the corpse, and she motions for you to join her at the head of this body while everybody is gathering in a circle. And she says,
"May the matron of ravens guide you to peace."
Simple, short, as another Aarakocra, seemingly out of nowhere, flies above the funeral pyre and drops a torch onto it. The body then begins to smolder. And we'll go ahead and take a break right there. So, we'll see you guys in like 5-ish minutes. We're going to take a quick break.
I'm gonna
Yep.
Oh, right, we have to make a bunch of weird noises when we come back.
Whenever we come back, just make weird noises. Oh my god. No! I hate it. I hate that so much. Okay, So, as you guys sit with the the funeral. Oh, did I make the do sound? All right, I gotta up the count. As you guys sit with the funeral, going through the ceremony, the remains are eventually burned to ash, and the heat of the fire behind you. Where are you guys heading, and how are you getting there?
I did roll a 14 on my history check.
For what was
I
it
don't know if
reference
that's
to
high
again?
enough, but I rolled 14.
What were you trying to? I forgot what the check was for now.
Something about putting pieces together.
Oh,
Or, like, connecting the
14.
dots.
Yes. So something is kind of standing out to you a little bit, of specifically the assassin you came across within Aurealis that seemed to attack you all. There's something strange about its anatomy. Remembering back on the black shadow in its veins a little bit.
Oh, so that was a fiend.
Oh, so that was an Angulócë?
Mhm.
Is that right?
One of.
He was mean.
You have an astute grasp of the obvious.
Well, thank you. I try. Try my best.
So, does Kakira share this information, and where are you guys heading?
Yes. So as we're walking away from the ritual pyre, Kakira would like stop for a second and say, "Do you guys remember that assassin in Aurealis?"
Yeah, he was mean. You love me.
Yep. Do you remember what his veins looked like? They were black. They were filled with shadows.
He was very shadowy. Does Calvio remember anything in particular being like right up on this dude's nuts?
I hope
Make
that's
me a
not what
history
Calvio was
check.
doing.
Yeah, that's
mean-
quite the
I mean, we were in public.
quite
man.
the
Oh.
sentence.
I got a good number on that one. You said history?
Yep.
Oh, well, it's not something like 24. It's
24.
Oh,
That-
oh,
I'm
man,
rolling great
24.
tonight.
Yeah.
At
Please
least
don't
somebody
put
is.
us in. Please don't put us in combat. I'm gonna start rolling shit. Rock slide.
So-
Everyone dies.
We're in the middle of the ocean. Rock slide. Everyone dies. Your memory seems to corroborate what Kakira is saying. Essentially, it was an easy roll. You remember that also the white eyes and the
Oh, that's
random
right,
black
yeah.
fleck that would go across them.
This black fleck thing is a common trend.
Yeah.
Does the black fleck remind any of us of anything? There's got to be some kind of significance to that, because it's with the Angulócë. It happened to Sige. We saw on the dragon fucker. But these are threes. Like, two of them are similar, but one of them's really different. So what's the thing? What's the deal with the fleck?
Does Marsica recall anything about weird black flecks?
Marsica would not.
Okay.
So,
Cough, cough. People who read books.
I've read some stuff, but like it's mostly about food. I mean, I can try.
Aren't you a lore bard?
Yeah, but the lore was about the history of food, the origins of food. You know, what type of cultures.
There
make
could have been a
food.
recipe made to cure this shit.
The lore of mashed potatoes.
Special mashed taters.
Because you can boil them, mash them.
Greens,
Ooh.
beans,
23.
Wow.
potatoes, tomatoes.
That is, you're kind of racking your brain. You're still not really sure about this.
Damn.
Like, you're like, guys, I've read a lot. It's mostly about food. This did not come up.
So, well, I guess at least we know what no guilty is.
Bonus points.
That's, you know, one less mystery for us to solve.
Also, they have a piece of the spark.
That is very likely.
I
Yes.
don't know how I feel about that.
Well, if it can only do what ours does,
But can it only do what ours does?
That's speculating. You can't assume
we'll have to find.
anything.
We'll have to find another piece and find out.
So we can disguise ourselves when we find their hideout. I bake them a pie. All right, we give them the pie. Gives them the
Charm person pie.
gives them the craps for good 8 hours straight. Man, they'll be stuck on the pot. And they're not able.
Fireball pie. I like how you think.
We go in, we steal this piece of equipment that we need, and we get out.
Gonna burn all the way out.
Instead of ghost peppers, we put narcotic peppers in. I mean necrotic peppers.
The shenanigans in this session is so many.
What are you talking about? There's been no shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Oh my god.
What shenanigans?
Only lore. Only lore. Nothing but.
Lore building.
Where are you
Can
guys going?
I possibly see the crystal for a moment before we leave?
Which one? The large one in the...
The one that we
the
got that we're bringing back to fucking whatever the hell it is.
Orialis.
Yeah. I need 10 minutes.
Are you sure that's smart?
I'm just casting Identify.
Okay, alright.
Well,
Look, if you want to hold the spark because you think I'm going to do some shit, you can hold the spark.
wait. What are you casting Identify on?
The crystal that the wise woman gave us.
Nariki did mention not using magic on the crystal.
She said you can do whatever you want with the crystal she gave you, but the large crystal she does not want you to touch, because that is theirs.
I think it was more out of protection than you're going to fuck it up. I mean,
Well, knowing
yes,
you,
she's worried about us fucking it up, but it's not like a if you use magic on it, it fucks up issue. Okay, well maybe if I use magic on it, it would fuck up, but that's besides the point.
so could we just
If you
make
would
it-
like to hold on to the spark while I sit here and cast Identify with everyone watching, that's fine. I am casting
Marsica's
Identify, and that's it.
Give me the spark.
I'm getting 50 feet away.
Kakira would look at Calvio with squinted eyes and
No funny business.
grumpily take the spark and walk very far away.
I would gladly trade the spark for the crystal, and sit down and immediately begin casting Identify.
I'm like sitting behind a tree, good 60 feet away, handful of mashed potatoes, peeking around it, just looking. Other hand with a little bit of jerky, feeding it to Fang as he's sitting down the other side of the tree, looking, munching.
Xar-
Oh yeah,
Xarrikir
absolutely.
Just has his shield up, just bracing himself.
Calvio's
think-
like, sitting with his book, and before he starts, he just looks up and goes, "You guys are silly," and then starts
track record.
and then starts chanting for identify.
The Aarakocran seeing kind of what's happening, kind of also give a wide berth because they're like, "What the? What? We don't know. We're just gonna keep a wide berth from this guy just in case." 10 minutes goes by, and you complete the spell. There are no
Oh,
explosions.
look, nothing exploded.
This is... Yeah, he's just sitting in the middle of the town with this, I'm assuming.
Yep.
In the middle of the street.
Sat my ass down right where I got the crystal, just didn't move.
It is, in fact, called a Dreamshard. What this particular shard does, it's a big enough range that it would protect, it would be about a quarter-mile diameter sphere from dream magic. Basically enough to help a quadrant of the city, a section of the city.
What kind of magic am I getting from this?
Abjuration magic.
Do I get the feeling from casting Identify on this that there is a way of juicing it up without it being a larger crystal?
Make me an Arcana check with that.
Gonna roll the one that gave me the 20. Okay, alright, 17. Apparently I like the number 10 tonight.
You see,
More than I get.
There may be a way to amp it up through magical means, but you're not entirely sure how to do that. There may be a way to
So
do
what you're
it.
saying is shoving the spark in it is not a good idea. Damn it.
I'm
If
not
it's
saying
Calvio's-
anything either way.
If it was Calvio's first idea, probably a bad one.
Hey, look. It has not gone poorly so far. Okay.
Save.
Straight-faced look.
The red runes on the ground in that one ruin.
That was the one time, and we were fine.
What about the safe?
Into the...
What about
The
the
safe
dagger
that
you just blindly picked up?
Oh, the safe that I got all the jewels in, that now Marsica has unlimited arrows for. That
Well, it
one
doesn't
the
have
one
those
that
yet.
I have. We're literally going to get them.
stealthing into
The one that I bought the Misty Step dagger from. That one. That's safe.
Still a bad idea.
The one that I put 1,500 gold into the reserve at the fort from. That one.
Well,
That's
there was
safe?
also that cursed dagger that you just decided to pick up that one time.
That was
The
an
grumpy
honest
dagger.
mistake.
That was an honest mistake that cost you a lot of trouble.
There's a reason it's called the Grumpy Dagger.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun while it lasted. I liked the throwing and then like coming back thing, like the. That was fun.
Yeah, but what did it
The not
cost?
sleeping well thing, not so fun.
I think it made you pretty grumpy.
Not so fun.
Mhm.
Not so fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
We
There's been
should
a lot of great
probably.
things happen.
You keep
It's-
telling yourself that, Calvio.
It's getting into afternoon at this point. It's
Oh.
if you guys want to make it to Aurealis, you might want to skedaddle.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine, we're going.
We should probably move.
Before we
along.
go, the crystal covers a quarter of a mile sphere. Bet you didn't know that before. And there is a way to juice this crystal up. I just
Well, we
don't know
never-
how to do it.
We never said there wasn't.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, are you admitting that your piece of spark will not juice up the crystal?
No. I'm saying I don't know 100% how to do it. I am a man of science, after all.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
The means may be weird, but it is science.
We should probably get back to Aurealis if we want to leave today.
Yeah, probably.
I'm already mounted on mashed potato.
I think we have to
you're
fly.
taking your mountain goat back?
Nope, I brought it up here and I never said I didn't unsummon it.
I mean, he would have like just showed up as you guys were leaving because he would have had to walk. You could have left it. It may be easier for you to leave him in Aurealis at this point because then he's gonna have because you guys flew up here.
Oh yeah. All right, so then we're gonna fly
It's like-
back.
Yeah.
I thought we flew him up here.
You flew
Space
Fang up here, but not mashed potato. There
No,
was
yeah,
not
that
enough
was
room
my
for
bad.
mashed potato.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Then
So-
I guess I will start by doing conjure animals. How many?
Can we just say the same shit that we did to get out here is the same shit we do to get back?
Do you remember how many spell slots that was of each?
I know Courtney or Sige did owl things, and you did one version of it, and you did one. It was 4 total, right?
I think so. I think because it was like,
Yeah.
what,
It's
4
4.
hours?
Yeah,
Thereabouts.
and so there
For
has to
the
be.
flying.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah, I
2
believe
for
I
you and
used-
1 for Sige because Sige did the owl thing. It was 2 conjure animals for you and 1 for
No,
Courtney,
It was 3 for
and
me
she had the owl.
because I still need to summon 2 for all of us, even if Siga is flying. So I still need to do conjure animals 3 times, and then Siga needs to do it once, and that's how he did it last time.
Is that how we did it? Okay.
Yeah,
That
you
sounds
almost
right.
were double spell slots,
Okay.
and then
Cool. Dope.
so you guys see what look to be giant cooked turkeys come out of thin air and slowly start to form into birds, and then like meat and feathers and everything, like the skin forms around it, and eventually 2 giant eagles kind of appear.
Out of 2 cooked
Kakira
turkeys.
just kind of like shivers and says, I'm never going to get used to that.
The
What's
Aarakocra
the
nearby that are
village?
watching are very disturbed.
Is that what it would look like for like animate dead on an
I do
Aarakocra?
eat a handful of mashed potatoes before I cast this.
That was part of your spellcasting focus, your process.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're
Forgot about that.
So, you head on. You travel for the first hour to... Oh, speaking of which, I need 3 people to roll me d20s.
Not me, apparently.
Okay, I guess I'll do one.
Bless
Hello.
I got one.
Okay.
Do you need one more?
I guess
Okay.
I'll do this one.
Okay,
Oh,
Michael's
so
got the
who's-
last one.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, Heaven first.
16.
David next.
3.
3. Okay. Michael
10.
last. 10. Okay. As you guys are heading up, it's cold today, but the sky is clear, and luckily no precipitation seems to come your way, impeding your travel. But you are fairly cold. Heading down.
Flint's got extra
First-
blubber.
Oh my god.
And Kakira's got her down feathers.
Oh, yep. The first hour goes by uneventfully. You guys find another place to land, recast your spell, head up. Second hour is also uneventful. The third hour.
So to clarify, at what point in time is Sige not an owl?
Are you wild shaping or are you polymorphing?
Probably wild shaping.
Then it's after 3 hours. So it would be after this one.
Okay.
So this is this last one. The third hour goes by uneventfully. The last hour, you start coming off of the mountain range into the valley, getting close to the ground. You see Aurealis a bit off into the distance. As you are flying through the trees, there is a... I need to check something really fast.
Nope. I don't like that.
It's funny, whenever we see a monster or anything, Flint's first thought to himself usually is what he can cook with it.
Okay. I need one of the giant eagles that would be carrying Xarrikir and Flint, I'm assuming, to make a Constitution saving throw.
What?
Give me a second, I gotta look up the Giant Eagle stats.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing for you right now. You said Constitution, it's +1.
11.
Oh,
11. You watch as these yellow bands just wrap around this, like the feet of this giant eagle, and a weight kind of appears, and it seems to be pulling down. Something is pulling this eagle down towards the ground. What do the rest of you do?
In a loud, booming voice, then Flint would just start yelling, like in his bard voice when he performs for very large crowds, just Mayday, Mayday!
Calvio.
Can Marsica
Calvio
shoot
have-
at the...
Calvio, having seen Sige do this before, is gonna point at it and cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
The chains, not the conjure animals.
Okay. So the chains do dissipate since they are under 3rd level. How high off of the ground are you guys?
We probably would not be super close to the forest.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe 600-700 feet up, like at least.
Okay.
Especially if we just came off the mountains, we're probably still
Pretty high.
a
Descending.
pretty decent height.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Enough to still breathe fine, but not for anyone to come close to us again like that.
Okay. You then see, as you guys are flying overhead, Marsica, what is your passive perception?
18.
Sige would see this as well. Okay. So, those are the passive perception of 18 or up. See in the light snowfall ground 4 figures standing, watching you fly overhead.
What do the figures look like, roughly?
Kind of hard to tell at this distance. One's tall, heavy armor. The other one seems to be an orc of some kind. These figures look familiar.
I think it's our friends. Shane has
Xarrikir
a pin.
Okay, what's your pin?
Could you just fly around Calvio and cast Fireball? Basically,
Out of range if you guys are...
No.
We'd be better
even,
off probably
even
going
if
straight
I
to
was
Aurealis.
in range, no.
Well, I do remember my last discussion with Cerilius.
Could I? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say at least I'd hoped we'd agreed on no more violence or anything, and just try to talk peacefully to work something out.
Did she give you food?
No.
How is this a negotiation then? You can't trust this woman.
We're just like yelling at each other from our
We are
eagles.
just screaming at each other like throughout the wind rushing past each of your hair.
It's called breaking bread for a reason.
Well, it was a dream.
Could Marsica tell generally what direction they were going, whether it was towards the mountains or towards Aurealis?
They seemed to be walking from Aurealis towards your guys' direction.
Uh-oh.
How far out of Borealis are we?
We're not
How
far.
what?
We could see it, right?
Yeah, you guys can see Aurealis in the distance. You're getting close. You can see off in the distance the large red crystals on the wall that keep the city heated and keep the snow at bay.
Can I try to stealthily send Aldra down?
Sure. Marsica, what do you got?
Can I perception towards Aurealis to see if I can tell if anything's wrong?
Sure.
Okay.
You're sending Aldra down. She only has communication with you for about 100 feet.
Sure.
Okay.
I will tell Aldra before that if it is our friends, then come back quickly. But
Okay.
try to stay at a distance and find somewhere to perch.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for Aldra.
Is this like a flying in stealth check, or after Aldra gets their stealth check?
Flying in stealth check, because she's coming from your position.
Okay.
I got a 16 on the perception check.
Okay.
Since Xarrikir and
That's
I are
pretty
on
good.
the and we're kind of just like in the area right now, I just kind of reach over with some jerky and hand it to him. I'm like, "Hey, you hungry?"
I'll take the jerky.
Yep.
19, Aaron.
Okay. And then Marsica's perception check was
16.
16. From what you can tell, Aurealis looks like Aurealis. Seems to be okay
Okay.
currently. As you guys continue to fly towards Aurealis, I'm assuming are you looking through Aldra at all?
As long as I can.
You can look through their senses. You just can't communicate with them past 100 feet. After 100 feet, they're going to do what they're going to do, but you can still see and hear through them.
Dope, yeah.
Okay.
And Aldra would try to like fly like into the trees and then towards them, because Snow Owl and knows how to do Snow Owl things. And as soon as it can like see where they would, it would perch because it knows it's good at that.
Okay. Flying in, Aldra you feel the wind rushing past Aldra's face as she comes in and perches. And for a moment, Aldra gets a better look at what's up.
While it's perched, it has advantage on stealth checks because it's a snowy environment. I don't know if that matters.
Oh, that does matter.
But that's
Roll
the
with
thing.
advantage. Roll with advantage.
That's why I was asking, is it when it comes in or when it lands?
I mean, either way, you're
gotta-
still in a snowy environment.
Nope,
hard
it's
to
still
see.
a 19.
Okay,
It's
sounds
definitely still a 19.
So, Aldra, seeing through Aldra, go ahead and make me a perception check for Aldra.
Is this sight or smell?
Maybe a little bit of sight, but mostly hearing.
Oh wait,
So
hearing or smell? Okay, so
you do it with advantage.
Snowy Owl has advantage. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I said the wrong thing. Not that one. Wow. Okay. 15.
15.
Uh-oh.
It's not bad. They're not talking particularly quietly.
Okay.
Aldra sees a new individual with these four. It's a half-elven man that is a little bit shorter than Galadriel, kind of hunched over. He is holding what looks to be a small alchemy bottle and is constantly playing with smoke in the other hand. On his back is a short sword. The small halfling woman that you know as Cerilius turns towards them and says,
Alchemist Briston, you just gave away our position.
and he turns and says,
We wanted them, didn't we?
we want them to talk. And it's at this point that you hear Galadriel say,
Seems like we have a visitor.
and Aldra pans over and Galadriel is looking right at Aldra.
Can I snap Aldra out at this point?
Mhm.
Okay. Is Kakira on the burb with me or close to me?
He's flying.
Here's just flying around. I mean, just keeping an eye out.
Who's on burb with me?
If you like.
Probably heaven.
Marsica. Okay. And are we on Sige burb? I assume we're on Sige burb
Yeah.
because the other burb was not
Carrying.
Sige burb. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Well, then I guess the three of you, and I would be yelling this, so hopefully everyone can hear this. I don't know how that works up and basically, but Calvio would say, yeah, that was them. Do we know an alchemist Briston?
I recognize the name.
I do too. I just don't have it in my notes.
I'm
His
trying to find it.
information was what we found, I believe, in the sewers of Andorra.
Yeah.
With
He was
the
one that did the...
Oh, that's that one. The one that summoned the bleh thing. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
the
the
Jabba the
black.
Hutt?
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah. He's with them now. He's the one that tried to do the and pull you guys down. But
Yeah,
they didn't want him to do that though.
He caused the illness in Andorra.
Okay. So there's more of them. Definitely them though. They busted my burb though. She's fine, by the way. And then I would like snap, and then you would see little like on my shoulder.
As you're flying.
Can we find them, and can I cast Conjure Animals at 4th level and summon an elephant right above them from our height?
I think we flew past, but
You're very far
You're right.
flown past.
You're gonna kill the elephant!
The
Yeah.
element's a fey creature from another world. He's not gonna die. He's just never gonna answer my summon again.
or you can unsummon him after he hits them, but before he hits the ground.
Or
No.
summon like 4 cows.
Do
instead
you
of an
say this
elephant.
in character?
Why are we killing the animals?
You would
I'm
the
trying to
bird
kill
that
the
we are
animal
on.
that's a
If
spirit who will go back to another.
the bird that we are on that is Sige would and then keep going.
I think we should get to Aurealis
To get rid of them right now.
quickly.
It would definitely hurt. I don't know about get rid of them, but hurt.
Yeah, one of them came back from the dead.
I don't know.
Remember?
You know what else? You know what else
Technically,
hurts?
2 of them have come back from the
Yeah.
dead.
Oh,
but, you know,
two.
casual.
Yeah.
Have to an elephant.
Fireball.
Boop, boop.
Oh, we cast fireball on him right as the elephant hits.
Things I cannot do right now.
Oh,
We need to go to Aurealis. We need to just keep going to
Agreed.
Aurealis.
Alright,
Agreed.
All right. Oh. You guys continue along. Make your way into Aurealis after this brief encounter. Landing on just the outskirts of town. And make your way in. Where are you heading?
I guess Deacon's Inland.
yep.
Okay.
To Deacon's Inland.
To
Away.
Deacon's Inland. All right.
Would you be able
Oh
to
my
summon like an ostrich? And would it be able to glide? Like do like a dive bomb?
Oh my god. You guys and your ideas.
Wait, what happens if we infused an elephant with a fireball?
That's what I said earlier.
Oh,
A Pharrelephant?
Right as it hits.
Yeah, Patrick, pay
Pharrelephant
attention.
It's a
I'm
Pharrelephant
dead.
ball.
You make your way in, heading to the Zofreus Academy. Around the corner. You get to Deacon's Inland's tower. And
Did we all just land in his yard?
essentially, you would know that there is a griffin guard here. If you don't want to deal with any of them, you might want to land outside of town and then fly in, or then walk in.
Okay. Okay, fine. Oh,
Well, where's all the pizzazz, you know?
Oh my
Kevin,
god.
you gotta do the mod things.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
But I mean, you guys can do that, and just you'd have to talk with the guard. But either way, you make your way to Deacon's Inland place. Just to move it forward just a little bit. You get to the outside, and there is a familiar face sitting there on a nearby bench. A prosthetic hand holding open a book, flipping side to side. You see the reddish skin of your friend.
Wait a second.
wait.
What's his name?
Crowbar.
Fucking
Yeah,
crowbar.
that one.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Flint walks up to Clobar and just like goes to give him a hug and gives him some food that he hasn't been able to give him in a while.
Yeah.
It's got like a nice, perfectly preserved plate of like his favorite dishes, and it's even got his name written on it. Like,
he like takes it and is like, "Oh, friends, it's been some time. What brings you here, Deacon's Inland? You said you had been in town."
We are actually on an errand for Deacon's Inland. That we probably took too long to do, but it's okay.
Deacon's Inland is used to my excursions. I'm sure he has learned some patience.
Good.
Well, that's good.
Because you know us.
That I do.
tell me, have you? I like leaning close and like try and put my arm like around his shoulder, like in a hushed tone.
Oh,
Oh
No!
no! Oh, that sucks. Now it's back. Oh
Not
no!
quite.
That was so sad.
That was the worst internet break ever.
I
Or computer
know.
break.
I think
Am
his
I
computer's having a bad time. Yep,
We
now
can
he's back.
kind of hear you.
Totally.
Okay, dope. Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
back.
No,
You're back.
good.
Back.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh no! It didn't. You got. Oh, okay.
You
Well,
didn't get any of that.
So I leaned in after I put my arm around him and like trying to be all secretive, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
look both sides. Have you found any rare recipes on your travels?
Friend, I've been here most of the time, between here and Newbask.
Very well.
How is that going, by the way?
It's going well. I am
Good.
taking some steps, and he kind of leans in and says, "You've heard briefly of the Steel Strider.
Of course.
I'm making strides."
Oh.
Of steel?
And then he kind of like claps you on the shoulder. He's like, "Yes."
Well, that's good. Congratulations.
Has Klobar met Xarrikir?
Oh no.
I don't believe so.
I don't think so. Yeah. And he
Huh.
turns and he says, "It seems like you've found a new friend. What is your name?"
My name is Xarrikir.
He reaches out his hand and says, "Klobar."
I take his hand, shake it, and say, "Nice to meet you, Klobar."
You seem to be a strong individual.
You as well.
He leans in. "Keep these fellows in line."
Alright. I'll try. I just
I
glance
have-
over at Calvio.
Hey.
He just laughs.
I would squinty eye so bad. I'm just like, I see you looking at me.
Oh my god.
So
And
I have something I think you might be interested in checking out. You can't keep
Oh.
it, but you can look at it.
oh,
And then I would pull out the tiny staff that's not like that Fear is, and be like,
Okay.
Fear, would you like to meet a friend?
no. Don't know him.
I have no idea what Aaron said.
I don't know
Nope.
even.
There he is.
Nope, don't know him.
He's friendly.
No, I don't know about that.
But I do.
I don't.
But I do.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh, I hope this goes well. Dirty 20.
Okay, but don't let him touch me.
Okay. How about you show him the staff thing,
Mhm.
and he gets to like hold it for a second, and then you come right back.
Okay, fine, but no more than a second.
1 second.
1 second.
Okay, and you'll do the like staff thing for him.
I'll do the staff thing.
1 second.
1 second. No more.
One Mississippi.
If he holds me longer than a second, I'm gonna go.
Will you come back tomorrow?
Maybe.
But I like
It's
you.
scary out there.
It is a little scary out there, actually. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It is a little scary out there. Maybe we just show him the thing.
Okay.
Okay. I'm assuming he's like listening to half of this conversation.
Yeah, like the whole group. Most of the group knows what's going on. Klobar is just giving you a look.
So
We promise he hasn't gone insane yet.
It's the same old Calvio. You know how it goes.
there's just three
Is
of
he
us
talking
in
to
here now. instead of two.
Luran?
No, he has another
I mean,
one
we
now,
talked to Lauren.
too.
Lauren and I are good. We're good.
Oh, I'm
We're
glad
good.
you worked
This
that
is
out.
fear, and then I like point at the small staff.
Oh,
He's cool. He does this, and I do like, and then it just to full staff.
and he kind of looks at it and goes, "Is that all it does? That's interesting. That's a very cool staff you found."
No, I can keep things in it.
Like,
This, and I go and use the invisibility that I stored in it.
oh, you're popping invisibility.
Just like the invisibility that I had stored in it, because I need to
Alright.
put something else in it.
So you are now invisible, and he's like, "All right, Calvio's up to his tricks again. Please make sure he does not try to steal anything from Deacon Zinland's tower, and if you can keep an eye on him."
I'm still here.
Oh, I
It
thought
was
he
in the
was
staff. It was in the
difficult to
staff.
Keep an eye on him when he's invisible.
It
I
was
mean-
just in the staff. It stores spells. I thought that was apparent, but
No,
okay.
it's a staff.
Could be a staff of
That stores
invisibility.
spells.
Oh, that's quite the find.
I know. I would store fireball in it, but we keep having to dispel these stupid scrying orbs every day.
Oh. Well, I'm sure if you went to the impatient pupil, you might be able to convince him to craft some amulets for you.
Yeah, we could, but I got a dagger of Misty Step, and she got
Yeah,
a
you
dagger
got
or
A
unlimited
bow, a quiver,
quiver.
arrows, forever arrows.
So while
Kakira
that may
would
be
look-
practical, I like what we got better.
Kakira would look at Calvio and go, "How did you not think of that?"
I like the dagger.
Yeah, but she just like sighs in frustration and just
We'll go
gives
talk to
up.
them tomorrow, okay? We might be able to work something out. But that is a good idea.
Klobar kind of shakes his head and he says, "I'm only in town for a short time. I came for some research, and and he kind of like peels back his sleeve a little bit, and you see it seems like Klobar's been working out.
Oh.
He's got some muscle.
I ran out of spell slots. Oh no.
and he's saying, "I'm trying also to train and trying to see if there's any arcane means to help the process."
Oh.
And
If you're in town tonight, make sure you stop
Magical
by for dinner.
steroids.
Can we?
if
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You
he
said
says,
magical
I'll stop by. Magical steroids.
Can-
That's hilarious.
Can we go inside for a moment? I do have something else I want to show you that I'd like you to take a look at. That's
Oh.
less comical and a little
Yes,
bit more important.
Of course, Deacon Zinland is
one.
currently teaching a class, but he allows me access, and so he goes up to the door. You see him pull back this panel and type in something, and you hear these small chimes, and it goes, and he puts the panel back up as the door opens.
Does
You guys
What
walk
kind of
in.
magic is that?
Deacon Zinland found it at some ruin about 5 or 6 years past.
well, that's cool.
So it's an artifact.
It is.
And Kakira's kind of eyeing it, like trying to figure out if she could pull it out of the wall or something.
As you're looking at this, it seems to be one big piece on the front of this. The door is attached to part of this wall.
Does-
So upon discovering she can't pull it out, she just thinks, "How did the scientists not find this?"
Are you saying that out loud, or are you keeping it to yourself?
Nope. This is all in her
Internal.
head.
Does Deacon Zinland have a room to practice safely in?
Oh, yes, he does have practice chambers.
Would he mind if we used it for a moment?
Let me check to make sure he doesn't have an ongoing experiment.
Okay.
And so he kind of walks up the grand chamber, walking in, and he goes towards the right. He comes back a few moments later and says, "It seems to be clear."
Flint is
Let's,
gone. He's followed his nose to the kitchen.
Sounds about right.
So we would head up to this room and go in,
Mhm.
and I would say, "This is what I want you to take a look at," and then he would take out the piece of the spark.
Okay.
Wait, I thought I still had that. Or did
We
you
traded
just-
back, I assumed.
Oh, okay.
I assumed that was the deal.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna pull out the wand that smiles.
Haha. Damn it! Fuck! Missed opportunity, son of a bitch. It's okay. It would pull out the spark,
Mm-hmm.
and hand it to him to kind of hold for a moment.
He takes it, inspects it, and says, "What you have here seems to be a piece of something of immense power. What have you gotten yourself into?"
So, remember when you were with us and we were looking for pieces of things called a spark?
Yes. Is this one?
It is.
Or part of it.
This is amazing. Do you know what it does?
Smaller than I thought it was.
Me
It's
too.
quite cool. It's not as useful by itself, I assume. It only does like one thing. And then I would like take it back and then and throw it so it does the thing.
Yep. And as you throw it off into the practice room, this large sphere of lightning just... And he kind of like steps back for a second and says, "Even in that small thing has that amount of power?"
Yeah, it's quite cool. I'm just not really brave enough to throw it when we need it because it's not really something you want to let people know you have, and even less so lose.
It's very true. Keep that under close watch.
Of course.
Do you need anything from me? Perhaps I can look into something to help.
Well, hang on. Let me look at my notes. I'm trying to decide which one thing I want to ask him about.
Ask him if you can ask him multiple things.
Well, I wouldn't send him on multiple things. What was the deal with the significant graveyard?
Oh, there's
So-
two of them.
Yeah.
There's one in Andorra, which I believe has like a mausoleum below ground.
Right,
that
but
right?
what was the deal? Like, I have them written down. Like, I wrote looking for significant graveyard, either one in Andorra or Ogrevale, but I don't
Yeah.
remember what the thing was. Like, why
it's
were they
about
looking?
the three moons lie with the restless dead. So part of the Arakokran prophecy.
Oh,
Yeah. That's something that we should do.
would it be worth asking Klobor about?
Maybe. But we would have to be there.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it doesn't
Well,
hurt to ask.
In that case, I have a couple questions. Do you know an Uzkathan?
Uzkathan. I do not know of that name. Why is it important?
It's a name you never want to hear again.
Very well.
We believe we encountered a dragon that
Oh my. Really?
spit
Are you
death.
sure it wasn't something
Yes.
else?
We're
We
pretty
saw
sure.
it. It's pretty sure it's a dragon. It had the claws and the wings and
A
the
giant winged lizard.
smell of death breath with it.
And it may be over by my hometown harem bin right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
We may have killed his son yesterday.
Yeah.
You fought a dragon?
Well,
Okay, well, it was different though.
he wasn't really a dragon so much.
It was like Sige, but not Sige.
Bigger.
Like bigger,
Oh.
more dragony, less
Meaner.
dragonborny.
Scarier.
Yeah, it was
Just
strange.
kind of like nods, barely understanding what you were saying.
Do you know of a ritual to create an old guiltig?
I can't say I do. My area of study was not in that. I mostly
These are
looked
kind
at
of like
the omens of stars, seeing into different possible futures.
But you know what an old guiltig is?
No, I have not heard of this. It's not. It's
Oh.
not in my study.
also something you probably don't want to hear about again. Let's be honest.
Or encounter?
Kakira, would you mind explaining to him about the moons and the graveyard things? Since he's into the stars and future things, that might actually be something he could help us with. No offense, our questions are kind of weird.
This is fine. I haven't seen you in some time. I'm happy to sit and talk for a moment.
So it's part of an Aarakocra prophecy. The line is, the 3 moons lie full with the restless dead. I forget, what's it called when we have the triple full moon? It's called something.
Convergence.
Convergence. So we know the convergence is coming up soon, and we have 2 locations that we're aware of. But we're not really sure what to do from there.
So what is your question exactly?
Does that ring any bells?
Can you say that one more time, because that was a little hard. Yeah, that's okay. Just say what.
Does that ring any bells?
No. The question part.
Oh.
I did understand. Does that ring any bells?
God damn it, Patrick!
I didn't know if I cut out or something.
Are we asking
right.
if he knows the specific graveyard or just knows of the prophecy?
He
Or both?
probably wouldn't know of the prophecy. I'm pretty sure the prophecy is pretty secret.
Okay.
What do you know about the convergence?
Well, I know that when the 3 moons lie full, it usually weakens the veil on things that are hidden, imprisoned, as other things like this. It also is known to empower lycanthropes.
So you used the word imprisoned particularly?
Yes.
Can you define imprisoned for us? For the class?
So, during this time, the people of Aurealis usually shore up defenses and things because they're all are afraid that things will come out of the cage. I personally do not think that it will weaken prisons enough for him itself to be released. Those chains have held for millennia. But
Well,
it may release some monsters or other things that are imprisoned on an ethereal nature.
interesting.
And you mentioned a graveyard to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would say, let me look up something real quick.
NPC we're friends with. Ask them every question possible.
Right? Oh my god.
Well, isn't that what you do when you play like an RPG or
mean,
something?
any
It's like, oh,
RPG
NPCs
game.
just go down
Absolutely.
every question
Here's
on the
the-
list.
Everyone. I click every
Spam
single
A,
one.
Just like.
No, but then you have separate conversation for because each one takes you down a different storyline, and then you get like 10 new side quests when you do that.
Looking at you, ESO.
So, mentioning the graveyard to him, and this, he's like, wait, are you speaking of the Spear of Dinar?
Oh, that's one of them.
There is, I was actually just reading about different magical artifacts that are rumored within the land. The graveyard at Ogre Vale is known to house, or at least legends say, that the Spear of Dinar is hidden there, and will only reveal itself to someone in dire need at the right time. The 3 moons lie full. This would definitely weaken the veil of whatever is hiding it.
Huh. Yeah, I would have thought that I should have known that. Guess that's what I get for not paying attention during my studies.
It's esoteric knowledge. He rolled a 20. I crit on his history check with that.
Oh, okay.
It's just so you know, don't feel
Fair.
bad. It's esoteric
Oh, okay.
knowledge, and he's a wizard at an academy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
thanks for
Do
that.
you know of any other magical items that could be useful in the land?
How do you know anything about the Andorran catacombs by chance?
Andorran catacombs are often avoided. They said there was a sword somewhere in Andorra. I was not able to pinpoint its location. Hidden in the homelands of my people, but I'm getting sidetracked. The catacombs of Andorra are large and they go deep underground and have entombed the nobility for several hundred years. I'm sure there's treasures and things galore in there if you wish to plumb the depths of the catacombs. But I'm not sure if that is something akin to your sensibilities.
I think that answers that question.
Yep. Well, does anyone else have any questions?
Okay.
Oh, I love when my caps lock is accidentally left on.
Kerpslurk.
Kerpslurk.
Kerpslurk. I think we're okay.
Been here for some time. Are you going to leave the shard with Klobar, or and entrust him to give it to Deacon Zinlin, or are you going to just wait for Deacon Zinlin to come back and give it to him yourself?
How long
Should
is this
prob-
class?
Shouldn't be too long. Maybe about another 30 minutes to an hour.
We can sit and chat for 30 minutes, right?
Flint ran off to the kitchen, so I imagine it will take him time to make a meal anyway.
What time of day is it currently?
It's evening.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I hate evening classes.
Honestly, though.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I mean, in character.
So are you guys gonna go ahead and wait for him?
Yeah, probably. Unless anyone else thinks it's a terrible idea.
I'm guessing they have a pretty fancy kitchen.
Oh yeah, Deacon Zinlin has an incredibly fancy kitchen.
Is there already a chef in there?
Not that you can see. It's like you've bumped into something a few times that seems to be moving around and like cooking things, and it's kind of moved out of your way at this point.
Cool.
Knows when it's not needed.
So, you wait some time, and Deacon Zinlin kind of opens the door, very much tired college instructor after teaching a long day of classes. And he starts talking. I swear to God, if I get one more question on if you could use a mage hand to lift this or that, and I have to answer, does it weigh less than 20 pounds?
Kakira looks at Calvio.
How about I ask you a far more interesting question?
And then he realizes all of you are sitting in his greeting chambers.
What if I put, and I go, what if I put this, and hold up the spark, in that, and points at the crystal that Kakira is holding.
Kakira turns around and starts digging through her bag, trying to find this crystal.
Trying to, like, pull it
buried
out.
somewhere at the bottom, like,
Put
scrambling to find it.
Piece of metal in her bag?
And she finds it and, like, ha!
He says,
up the crystal.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. You want to take it into the safe room and then have one of my servants deal with it?
Actually, not a bad idea. However, you might want to keep that crystal the way it is.
Oh? What does the crystal do exactly?
It is the answer to your problem. Courtesy of the Aarakocra.
Well, in that case, I would want to take very careful study of it, because magical materials that appear naturally can be quite temperamental.
Calvio would take out his little notebook and write it down basically what he got from the identify spell and then hand it to him.
He takes it and nods and says, Thank you. Thank you for this.
It can be powered up further. I just don't know how.
I will have a few of
Maybe
the
you
maid
can
rights
figure it out.
come and see if they have any ideas. But
It is
Go.
complicated stuff. Although I still think it's a good idea to try and shove the spark in it.
if I deem it a good idea, I will reach out to you.
Just keep it in mind.
Moving along, he takes the Dreamshard, so go ahead and remove that from your inventory. And
Yes.
bids you all a fine farewell and says, thank you. If you want transport back to Andorra, just let me know.
This is when the smell of a very fine roasted boar comes from the kitchen. As I've spent about, I would say 50 gold while we were waiting around in the city a little bit and waiting for him. I went and grabbed all my cooking supplies and spent a little extra gold for tonight's dinner.
Okay.
And prepared a bit of a small feast for us.
That's a really excellent dinner. So you all sit, have a wonderful dinner with Deacon Zinlin. He thanks you. And as a token of... Because he feels like you went a little bit out of this. May have been a little bit out of your way. He gives each of you just an extra 50 gold. He says, "Thanks as a tip for your services."
Ooh.
But
That gets me about a sixth of a diamond I need.
aha!
Might be able to go bribe somebody with that money.
You guys make your way out of Deacon's Inland's Tower, heading towards, I assume, the Gilded Goblet for the evening.
Is that within a quarter mile of the tower?
It is not.
Fuck.
There is an inn in the Wrights Boulevard that you can find.
Is it expensive though?
No, it's like student area. It's like the what was it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, like the NAU has Drury Inn and Suites that's attached to it to
Oh, okay.
to teach
Okay.
them how to run establishments. It's kind of like one of those. But you all make your way to the inn within Wrights Boulevard, each paying about 5 silver for accommodations for the night. And as being within the range of this spell, you do wake up in the morning and to find Kakira a small parcel underneath your door, a letter that has been addressed to you. And with that, since you guys have completed the quest, brought the Dreamshard to protect at least Wrights Boulevard from the dreaming issues, you guys have reached level 9.
Woo! That's what's up.
Yeah. So sorry for running a little bit later with this. I wanted to get to that point where you guys did that.
Now you
What's
got
that?
3 levels of recipes to add in.
Yeah. Are you taking another one in there?
Yeah.
All right. So, maybe we can do that tomorrow as part of our hangout and figure out some of this stuff, because you have pretty good ideas with that. So if you guys want, if we can roll hit points real fast, and then we'll call it. So, David, are you taking another level in Rogue or Wizard?
No, I don't know yet. I'm just realizing that I paid 600,000 IRL dollars for that fucking Misty Step dagger.
Yup. Magic
Which
items
means
are fucking expensive.
Kevin's unlimited arrow dagger was $300,000.
Wow, we're rich. I wish I had that much money in
One
real life.
Adventurers are
$200.
rich, man.
1 gold is $200.
Wow.
I spent almost $1 million in one day. What the fuck?
Fantasy money, man. Gold is also hyper inflated at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
to answer your question, I'm not sure.
Okay, what'd you say, Mike?
How much have we spent on the fort so far then? Like a few million?
Thereabouts, yeah, something like that. You don't know how much it cost you to start with the regent fronting the bill on that. But anyways, Marsica, what hit points did you roll?
I haven't rolled it yet. I just found my D10.
Roll them hit points.
Get a D10?
That's my hit dice.
Yeah. 1d10 plus. Oh my god, I'm stupid. I get plus my Constitution, right? That's what I do.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I just had to go check my Constitution real quick because I couldn't remember. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. That's a 9. That's a 9 overall.
Oh,
That's pretty
nice.
good. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Including it's a D8 for Cuisiner Mike.
So that puts me up to 98.
Okay. Xarrikir?
That's cool.
I rolled a 6 with a +4 to Constitution, which is 10.
10 total. Nice. All right. Kakira. Taking another level in Cleric.
Of course.
Okay.
I roll a 1. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yep, reroll ones.
Okay,
Roll
I
another
rolled a 1 again. Hold on, I gotta
Oh
re-roll
my
it
God.
again.
I have a question.
Okay, I
the
got
class.
a 4 this time.
Okay.
If I
What's your
take a
question?
level in Wizard,
Mm-hmm.
that's my 6th level blade singing feature, which
Okay.
means I get extra attack. And I can also use a cantrip as one of my extra attacks.
Okay. What if you take a level in
If I
Rogue?
take a level in Rogue, that's level 4, which means I get a feat or an ASI.
I do Blade Singer, but that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, I get a +4 proficiency bonus.
What are you doing? What'd you roll, Mike? You took Cuisiner?
10
That was a
total.
6? 10 total. Nice. All right. So, what are you doing,
Doing
David?
the wizard things.
Doing the wizard?
Doing the
Okay,
wizard
roll-
things.
Roll that
level
D6.
spells.
D6 plus stuff. What's my constitution thing? Oh, +0, so it's just a D6. Great.
Yep. What do we got?
Don't fuck me over.
And then we'll have Courtney roll her dice when she comes next time. We just got to remember to roll all
Oh,
9.
it fell out. Okay, maybe not that one.
Ooh, guess what?
I got a 5.
Oh, nice. What do you got?
Guess
Evan?
what? Guess what Oathbow gets now?
What?
Freaking. Well, I guess just normally when I hit. Just guess what? When I hit normally, I get a freaking +11 now.
Nice.
And
But anyways,
What's Fang's HP?
Oh, that.
we'll deal with Fang later.
Yeah,
That's-
I just let Aber do
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, we'll that's a whole nother thing because we're doing the Unearthed Arcana thing, so I gotta figure
Yeah.
out every time we take a level.
It's
what 2
complicated.
spells do
So-
I want?
All the numbers go up. Anyways, we'll go ahead and end our session right there. Thank you all for watching and hanging out. It was a blast, and we'll see you next week. I'll confirm with these guys and just to make sure next week works. But see you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.